What's up, Trev? How you doing, bro? Hope all is well, man. Just relaxing, unwinding. How you been, bro? What's new? I'm doing all right. Same old, just working and staying out of trouble. Good to see you, man. Long time no see. I know you. I know I go live early, so you miss usually the morning ones. And I haven't been going live too much lately. But I appreciate you, bro. I only got a few followers these days. So I gotta show them some extra love. Yeah, renovations are the story of my life, man. You know how that goes. But it's okay. It's gonna be worth it in the future when everything is all buttoned up, and then it'll just be like maintenance and small repairs in the future. Just gotta take care of all the heavy duty shit now. Oh yeah, it's not cheap. Had a basement specialist come to my house last week. I get a lot of like moisture and water in my basement, and you already know the numbers they talking are crazy. And I don't mind paying those numbers, but I just can't do it right now because something else popped up like 2 days after I booked that appointment with them. And I told them the truth, like, look, when I called you guys, I was interested, but then 2 days later, after we already had an appointment, something else popped up that I got to spend some money on. So I told them I still want to do it, but I just got to wait. Sure, if I ever want to sell them, I'm going to get back easily and make a nice profit. So it's worth it. You can't go bad putting money in the house. I mean, you can, especially if you get screwed. We all get screwed here and there, but it's okay. Even my aunt got screwed, and she's the most innocent lady in the world. I feel bad for her. 300,000. But it is what it is, whatever. Like she said, it was the insurance money, so it didn't hurt as much. I don't think it was the whole 300K though. I think they did some of the renovations but didn't finish, something like that. I gotta get some more info. And shout out to my aunt Serena though, man. She said she's gonna help me out. I've been needing some help lately, and I'm not the type to ask for help. I've been carrying my own for a while, but that's what family's for, My family knows I'm good for it, but I was embarrassed, man. I asked like five people, I think, for help, for a loan, basically. Like she was the only one who said yes immediately. And then my other family member said no at first, but then he changed his mind 5 minutes later and said, he can help me. But it's something I don't want to go through ever again, man. I'm going to make sure I save money. And I like helping people, I always been the type to help people. But man, it's like when you need help, where do you go? My mom helped me last time, but she doesn't have much to offer at the moment. But it's okay. I'm going to get back up. I got money. It's just all in equity, I got a nice little chunk of equity sitting there, but I don't want to tap into it right now. Because if I tap into the equity for what I want to get, it's going to affect my DTI anyway. So what I'm going to do is after I get what I'm working on, then I'm going to get a HELOC, home equity line of credit. Boom. And then I'm going to have that credit card with a nice chunk on there. I could pay off my peoples, and then I could do whatever I want with it. But I'm not going to do nothing stupid with it. It's for investments, I'm not going to go buy a Harley. I'm not going to travel the world. I'm not going to buy a BMW. You know what I mean? It's going to be like for emergencies and to fix my house is more, or to potentially make a different investment, you know? I'm blessed, man. I feel lucky. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we got till it's gone, man. So sometimes we just gotta sit back and take a breather and focus on what we got now instead of always like, I want this, I want that. Oh wow, I know that went up big time. I got a little bit of gold. I used to wear it, now I don't. I got a nice little amount that I could pawn it, you know. Last time I pawned it because I needed an HVAC system and it came in handy. It's probably worth more now, so they'll give me a little bit more. But I gave one of my chains away to my aunt because I had bought it from her cousin. I mean, from her son, who was my cousin. He passed away at 40. So, you know, she was asking me for it. She thinks he pawned it to me, but I didn't want to like say, oh no, he didn't pawn it. I was just like, nah, it's okay. She wanted to like basically buy it back, and I just gave it to her, you know. Pretty sure I could have sold that chain for, what's up, Killshot? I could have probably sold that chain for a few $1,000s. I don't know, maybe 2-3 thousand. I don't know how much it was worth. It wasn't that heavy, but gold is expensive. But that's my aunt, and I love her. She's been one of my aunts that always let me stay at her house and made me feel comfortable and loved. Always, you know, always opened her doors and treated me like a son. I'll do anything for her. Killshot, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. My first ounce was 138. Damn. One of my fake friends stole a bunch of my gold back in the day. And I kind of lost interest for it, and I stopped buying it for a long time. And then I started back up. But man, I imagine if I would have had all that gold, and then I would have never lost my like pattern of buying gold, I would have kept buying more gold, and then all the new gold, I would have had freaking a shitload of gold. But it's okay. I know this one guy who went to prison. He had when he came home, he did like 15 years or something. And when he came home, the gold that he like had stashed, when he came out, it went up, skyrocketed. He said that's how he got back on his feet. He was like, man, if it wasn't for that gold that I bought back in the day, I would have been like struggling when I got out. So gold's a good investment, especially if you could buy it for a decent price. That's good, Killshot. Keep it going, man. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Trev. You know what we gotta do? We just gotta live with no regrets. None of that woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm trying to stop using those words. I even try to stop my friends from using, especially my handyman. Sometimes I still say it, but I notice whenever you say woulda, coulda, or shoulda, you're basically living in the past, and you're not changing nothing. All you're doing is regretting. I mean, in some cases, you're gonna say it. Those words are always gonna pop up, but they're unnecessary. Oh, what kind of dog you got? I don't got no more dogs. I don't want no more dogs. Maybe in the future when I settle and I'm retired or something. The grandkids. Oh, I had an American Bulldog. That was my last dog. I love bulldogs. I got Jack Chi. I'm not sure what that is. I don't even know Tai Chi and chia seeds. And what's that? Oh, Jack Russell Chihuahua. Oh. Yeah, people make money breeding those dogs too. Nice. Oh, that's cool, Trev. You got the time, you know? Probably likes going for walks. $1,000, that's a good price. Good dog. Oh, wow. Mexico. I used to I used to do a lot with my dog when she was younger. Towards the end, you know, I was getting a little lazy, but she lived a pretty good life. I used to take her bike riding, rollerblading, for walks. I used to play fetch with her, you know, like tug of war. Wasn't a perfect dog owner, but we had fun. She lived a pretty healthy life, you know. Work's going all right, Trev. I almost quit this job, but where I applied didn't hire me. But I'm kind of glad in a way, because I was going to be further away from my family. I even had a roommate, you know, ready to rent me a room where I was gonna move to Texas, bro. I was this close, Trev. I had a phone interview with the company. This was like 2 weeks ago only, and you know, I disqualified for a simple little mistake that I had, an accident, but it was so minor that I was surprised that they disqualified me for that. All I did was break the plastic like fender, mud flap, or whatever it's called, off my tractor, and I just told that to the lady. She was like, "Yeah, you can't have nothing on your record for 3 years." She said in a year and a half I could apply. Yeah, I don't mind the heat, Trev. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. That's in my DNA. You know, I'm born and raised here in New York, but I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to manage it, and it'll help me lose weight, and I'll end up darker. I was gonna fly home and still see my family, you know, but yeah, I'm gonna move out of New York eventually. Yeah, Big Chief, we don't really talk anymore. I don't got nothing against him, but um, you know, it is what it is. I prefer not to talk about that. If he comes around, I'll show him respect, you know, and I show everybody respect. I don't got nothing, you know, I don't have nothing against him personally, but just some people just, I guess, go their own ways after a while. It is what it is. Hope he's doing good, him and his son. Just social media friends, basically, you know. Oh, you felt disrespected? Damn. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm mad at him, but I don't kind of feel like, how do I say this? You know, I feel like he could have handled some other things differently. And maybe I could have handled some things differently between, you know, what we had, you know, things that we've been through. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. I wish I'm nothing but the best. And it is what it is. Oh, yeah, I got a couple friends from Texas. Wasted energy, huh? That's kind of funny, Trev. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, time flies. Music kill shot. I understand. That's how it goes, man. People teach us lessons, man. The whole world is a stage, like Shakespeare said. The whole world is a stage. Oh yeah, that's glad he's all right, man. I've been shot at. I didn't get hit. I've been shot at twice. One time was for me. One time they were actually trying to shoot me, and then the other time I was just like a innocent. I was a not a bystander. I was just in a friend's vehicle, and he was getting shot at, and they didn't know I was in the back, so I was like ducking and shit. It was kind of scary. Uh, the one time when they shot at me, I didn't even know they were shooting at me though. Um, I found out after. Basically, it was a drunk, crazy night, but that was back in the day when I was doing a lot of stupid shit, being young and dumb, and kind of just being in the product of my environment, basically. You know, unfortunately, a lot of us grow up in neighborhoods where you kind of like just get pulled into these traps and kind of just do what you were taught. But some of us get out, some of us don't. I'm just glad I am where I am now in life. Not perfect, but got a decent job. I don't drink, smoke, do any drugs anymore. And, trying to just do the right thing, prepare for my retirement. And that's it. I try not to blow too much money. I got people that be like, oh, life is short. You got to travel and enjoy your money, blah, blah. I get it. But it's like, you know what? I prefer to retire early. I still want to travel. I can't afford to travel as much as other people. If you got the money, hey, you could do whatever you want, but I don't got it like that. Not right now. Eventually, I'll get back on top. And I don't have nothing against people who travel and spend their money. Oh, that's good. You keep busy, Trev. Part time shit. I can't afford to work part time right now. I gotta have in the future, I'll work part time when I get closer to retirement. I just turned 40 in December. So basically, I'm 40 and a half. I want to leave the channel to my nieces. If I should have ever go, that's my one wish. Yeah, I'm 40. I'll be 41 in December. You say only, but shit, I'm not 20 or 30 no more. I grew up pretty quick though. Yeah, there's pros and cons to everything in life. We all know that. But I grew up pretty quick, and it taught me a lot at a young age. And one of the biggest things I learned is the value of money. And what I mean by that is money goes like this. If you ever been on a roller coaster ride, you know what I mean. Some people haven't, some people have. And what a lot of people See, a lot of people think, a lot of people start here, they get up, and then they think they're gonna stay up, and then whoop, and then you go on this ride. So I'm glad I went on those rides while I was young, because now I know to hold on to the money. You know what I mean? It goes super fast, like a blink of an eye. It takes forever to save it, and in 1 second you could blow it. Like, the cars, the jewelry, um, the club scene, blowing by and by. You know what I mean? Like spending 300-400 a night, all that stuff. I did that when I was young. So now I got that out my way, and now I'm on. Now I'm just focusing on my retirement. I want to retire early. I'm 40. I'm going to retire like in 10 to 15 years. I'll still work, but it's going to be like because I want to, and it's going to be more enjoyable. When you do something because you want to do it, you enjoy it more. When you do something because you have to do it, that's when it becomes like a mental issue. Yeah, Trev, I definitely going to do all that. I learned a little bit about that, but still slacking. I gotta, I'll figure it out, man. No woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm doing better. I'm getting better. We don't do that woulda, coulda, shoulda shit over here. That woulda, coulda, shoulda shit. We ain't no woulda. I used to always say, I'm a woulda, coulda, shoulda ass mofo. I thought you knew that though. But I'm gonna have to change that, because if I keep saying that, that's what I'm gonna be. So now I'm gonna switch it to, we don't do that woulda, coulda, shoulda shit. Something like that. I'll be live for like 4 more minutes, guys. 30 minutes live. That's usually what I do these days. Damn, I must look old. If Trev said you're only 40. I guess I look like I'm 50 or something. Maybe he thinks I dyed my hair. Yo, Trev thinks I dyed my hair, Tiffany. He said, you're only 40 now. I feel like I look old. Yeah, Trev, I'm just lying, bro. I'm 55 and all my hair is gray, but I just dyed I just dyed my hair, to make myself look younger. I even dyed my chest hairs and all that. You dig? The labor, when you write off stuff for your rental, can you claim the labor? Yeah, the materials and the labor, as long as you're paying somebody else to do it, and it's like, you know they whatchamacallit, everything's on file. Dang, I said that, Tiffany. Yeah, but my mom's fairly young. She's only 57. She had me when she was like 16. Oh, if I'm doing the work myself, the labor, yes and no. It depends, like how you have everything structured. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about that because I don't do the labor myself. But I guess it depends if what type of you know LLC, or if you're paying yourself as a S corp, C corp, and all that. There's a lot to it. It's not that hard to figure out. Just we just all be on social media bullshit instead of learning. I was learning a little bit about that. I still do here and there, not as much as before, but I'll get better. I'm getting better. You could pay your kids too. You could pay your minor, like my daughter. She's only 11 or 12. They're minors, and you could even pay your kids and deduct the taxes and all kinds of. There's a lot of loopholes. They call them something else. The loophole sounds more like illegal, but yeah, the loopholes work. There was this one term this other guy used, and I forgot what it was. Rav ain't here. That's Trev, you mean? Where you going? All right, take it easy, musical kill shot. If I missed any of your comments, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. I think I missed one earlier. Sorry. No, I said Trev. Yeah, I can see the dog on your little profile now. If I say you look like my mom, that's a compliment. My mom is beautiful. I'm about to end actually now, guys. It's been 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure whatchamacallit live. Tiffany, what the heck's this guy's name? PMC. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for your time. See you on the flip side. Peace out.